Met Hashem, we start Perek Gimel. We are at Perek Gimel. But even though we're Perek Gimel, we will go over Perek Beis because we have another few in Yonim and Perek Beis to be mashling. Sefer Yehoshua. On Perek Beis, we just summarize what we learned. Yehoshua sends two Meraglim, as we said, Kolev, and the Medrash tells us, okay, Kolev we understand, because Kolev was a spy in the past, and he succeeded. He was one of the good ones, right? Yehoshua with Kolev. And the other one was Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, and Yehoshua sends these two Meraglim. They go to the Rochov, the Isha Zoyna. They're Matzliach. Kinofal, and they turn from bad into good. In Nomoigu, in the past, or the Nomoigu, in the past, called Yoshua Oretz, and they give a promise. And what's the promise? We're going to save you. She, the whole story, she takes them down through the window, and they escape to the mountains, and the soldiers of the king are going through directly to the Yarden. They wait there 3 days in the mountains, and then they go back. We said last time, we saw it through the maps, and they go back to the Yehoshua ben Nun. They come back to Yehoshua ben Nun, Tes Nisan, or Ches Nisan at night. And Yehoshua ben Nun now, the next thing they're going to do is in the end of the 3 days, they're going into Eretz Yisrael, and this is over here what we're talking about, Vayashkem Yehoshua b'Boker. And we learned a few things in the period beforehand. We learned that V'chinamoigu kol Yoshua Oretz v'Paneichem. Right, that's what she says. Rachel is telling the two Meraglim, Kolev and Pinchas, and also we say over there that she was mashbia them. They made an oath that they gave her a vow, they gave her the words. What did nafshenu tachtechem lamus? We're going to save you, and we're going to give you an ois emes with chesed. Chesed, as we said, is that they don't have to come and to keep alive their family. She saved them. They could come and save her in return. And that is emes. But chesed, well, they promised they will save also the family, not only the Rachel itself, that they owe her this. We find over there the Tosfos and Megillah. Because we see that the Tosfos and Megillah says that, and we know Midrashim, for the Pasuk, what we see in the Pasuk, Achiyesem is Avi. What's Achiyesem is Avi? We learned from over here. We learned that Rachel actually eventually married Yehoshua. She became a Geiras Tzedek. She became a Ger Tzedek, and she married Yehoshua. She married Yehoshua ben Nun. Tosfos and Megillah, and that Midaled says Tosfos that Rachel and a family were not from the Shiva Amomin. Shiva Amomin is the Chiti, Gilgoshi. We see Gilgoshi, we'll see today. What about the Gilgoshi? But the Shiva Amim, they were not from the Shiva Amim. That's what Tosfos says. Because if they are from the Shiva Amim, how could we recover Geiru from the Shiva Amim? The Shiva Amim, we don't accept them. But there is a different Tosfos. That's a Tosfos in Megillah Daf Yudalet. There's a Tosfos in Soider Daf Lamedei. What Tosfos brings from the Sifri and Parshas Be'al Loischa, and the Sifri and Parshas Be'al Loischa says that they, and the Yalkut over here by us and Perek Beis, the Yalkut and Be'al Loischa says the same thing, that actually they were from the Shiva Amim. They were from the Shiva Amim. No. So Tosfos and Soider, what brings that from the Sifri and Parshas Be'al Loischa, that Rachel and the family were from the Shiva Amim. So Tosfos is asking, if they were from the Shiva Amim, how could they say V'achiyisem is based Avi? There's an Easter of Lois Lechaya Kol Neshama. Even they are from the Shiva Amamim, from the 7 nations, there's a Chiyuv, Lois Lechaya Kol Neshama. So how can they keep them alive? How can they make a Shavua, Levatel Es HaMitzvah? They can, okay, so that they could say that they became a Geir before they went into Eretz Yisrael, so then they would have helped. So the Tosfos actually says, very similar, as Rav Goslan is saying, but it says because before they went into war, there's no chiyuv lo yisachai kol neshama. When is the issur of lo yisachai kol neshama? They have to kill anyone. Once they start the war, then there's lo yisachai kol neshama. Over here, it's talking about they fill the war. So the and they done it tonight before, and the chiyuv kol neshama that we're doing before, and some of those say that they all became Jewish also. All of them, not only Rachel itself, the whole family. So once they became Jewish before the war, but then there's no problem with Achis and Kol Neshama or Lisachai Kol Neshama. Tosfos and Gittin says, and then Tosfos and Gittin Daf Mevov, a different Tosfos, that only after they cross the Yarden, then we know Mekabel Geirim and Shiva Amami, if they change their mind. But before they cross the Yarden, we're going to come back to this Tosfos. Tosfos brings over there many things about the Gilgosh. We'll see them at Hashem today. We know Mekabel them, but before they cross the Yarden, what we're going to see in Perek Gimel, how they're crossing the Yarden. So if they were mashlim, that means they came and they said, we want to make peace, mekablin, or we receive them, we accept them, and no problem. Over here, it's talking about before they cross the Yarden, right? Kodim Shavus Yarden. Meraglim, they go to the house of Rachel as before. Says, okay, you could come and receive them, and there's no problem with Sichai Kol Shama. Yeah. What they telling him? V'achisem es ovi v'simi. I'm going back to Pasuk Yud Gimel and Perek Beis. V'achisem es ovi v'simi v'sachai v'sachyoisai. V'eskol asher lohem v'yitzaltem es narjeni mimoves. Save us from death. V'yoymu lo ha'anoshim nafshenu tachteichem lomus. So what the Mefoshim explain? What means tachteichem nafshenu lomus? So the Mefoshim all explain that they promised her that if they will come and see anyone else who wants to come and kill her or the family, they will be Moisel Nefesh to save her family. That's what the Mefoshim explain. Nafshenu tachteichem lomus. I'm reading for the Radak. Onu nimsor nafshenu tachteichem lomus lemi sheirtze lehomis estem. Oh. So that's the question what we want to ask. How could you allow it to be Moisel Nefesh to save them? They were Bnei Noach, right? They were not Eden. Rachel and the family were not Eden yet. There's no din of Pikuach Nefesh to save a Ben Noach. There's no chiyuv to save a Ben Noach at all. And even if we talk about, you know what, let's talk about the Misgaya. Even by your Eid, there's a din of Pikuach Nefesh. Why there's a din of Pikuach Nefesh? You have to save person. Lo yisamoid al dam reyecho. Lo yisamoid al dam reyecho. But this is only when there's a big machlokes and the person has to put himself in a suffix and the person sees someone drowning. Does he have to jump into the water when he himself doesn't know to swim well? Does he have to jump into the water, put himself in danger? No, it's a suffix, right? It's a suffix danger. Does a person have to put himself in a suffix danger to save someone else? There's a big question about this, and there's a famous Kesef Mishneh, the Kesef Mishneh al Rambam in Ilchos Roitzeach, Kalef Aloch Yudaled. Over there, he brings B'Shem Dam Goyis Maimonios, a whole discussion about this, that a person should put himself in a suffix danger to save someone else. Now, our own people are going to come and, exactly as Abshir saying, our own people are going to come and harm her because they see suddenly that Tikva Schut HaShoni, she's hanging over there, Aroita Bentel, and everyone else is getting, as he said, we said also last, before Sukkot, when we spoke last year, that from Samid Roshim, that the whole wall, the Choymas Yerichoi, sank, except her house. So they can see something wrong. The people in Yericho, are going to come to kill her. They didn't do anything wrong. And they're saying, no, we're going to put ourselves in danger. That will tease to Meraglim, Kolev, Ben Yefune, and Pinchas Ben Elazar. They're telling us, we're going to put ourselves in danger to make sure that no one should harm you. They're mechuyev. They have to do it. There's no chil Hashem in this case. And the deal was, we're not going to kill you. So why that? That's exactly. How could they come and say, Nafshenu tachteichem lomus? We're going to make sure to save you. They're telling Rachel. From the Seder HaPsukim we see Azoy, that the way when we look about over here, the Hatzoleh, or Bechlal, the way they come in the save, how could they be Moisel? So let's go back to the question. How could they be Moisel Nefesh? They are Mischai Ben Afsham, right? Okay. Today is Pasuk in our Parsha, Parshas Noach, what we just read now. Oh, Ach, right? Shoifech dam be'odom be'odom, damo yishofech. What we learn out from this pasuk? We learn out from this pasuk that also it was told to Ben Noach the Isur of the Tzitcha. Now there is a Chidush Reb Chaim, Alevi. Reb Chaim says Azay, and Ilchos Roitzeach and Yitzer Azay. Even though there's no din of pikuach nefesh with Ben Noach. A goy, there's no din of pikuach nefesh. You have to send him. But in a Ben Noach, you have a din of a roidef and a nirdaf. What that means? The person sees someone else. Roidef achar chaveiro leholder. Sees someone else is chasing. Even two Yidden. One is chasing the other one to kill him. That means a person can and should save the nirdaf, the person that's chased, by killing the roidef. This din is also by Ben Noach. And nita la'atzil hanirdaf benafshay shel roidef. There's also din as they stayed up in Rambam. Benafshay shel roidef. Why? Because how do we see it? Because the ikar din, this din, what we know, hatzolas hanirdaf. A person is getting chased by someone else and he's almost getting killed. This din of hatzolas hanirdaf we learn out from the pasuk. And this pasuk that we just mentioned, shoifech dam odom beodom, damo yishofech, and that's the pasuk also by Bnei Noach. So you see that the din of roidef and nirdaf is not only by a yid, the din of a roidef and nirdaf is also by a goy, also by a ben noach. And as steht the Rambam in Ilchos Melachim and Perek Tes, the Rambam brings that the din hatzole of a nirdaf, saving a person that's chased as someone is killing him, it's a separate din. It's a separate din. This has nothing to do with pikuach nefesh. Kol haTorah kula, we know pikuach nefesh is the tzricha kol haTorah kula. Chutz from them, we have also a din of roidef and nirdaf, and the Rambam brings that two separate halachas. So it could be over here. Someone, they say, nafshenu tachteichem lamus. If we see someone is coming to kill you, we're going to come and save you, midin, roidef and nirdaf. Pikuach nefesh, we shouldn't. Pikuach nefesh, a person is not allowed to put himself in a suffering danger to save someone else. Especially a pikuach nefesh, you don't have to put yourself in danger to save a goy. But if they say midin, roidef and nirdaf, if we see someone else is coming to be roidef you to kill you, we will save you. As I saw in the Sefer Nesim, he brings down a minchas chinuch. Why? Because the minchas chinuch, a mitzvah reis tanik vov, he brings down the Rambam. And the Rambam says that there's a din of roidef and nirdaf. But he brings, even though there's a din of roidef and nirdaf by a goy, but this is only a reshus. It's not a mitzvah. It's only a reshus, not a mitzvah. If you want, okay, you could save the nirdaf midei roidef also by noach. But it's only a reshus. It's not a mitzvah. No, if it's only a mitzvah, so we still tzorchim. Like that's tzorchim. Why? It's a suffix, it's a suffix. So let's see Perek Gimel. Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker. When is this Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker? So this Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker is Rashi tells us. This is Bialti. This is the Malbi says that this was when on test, because as we learned already that Yehoshua bin Nun sent betoich yemei Evel Moshe, right? Betoich yemei Evel Moshe, he sends over there the people to go the Meraglim. So here when we talking about Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker, when is it? Tes Nisan in the morning. Now Yehoshua straight away what he does, Vayashkem. Where do we see Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker? We see the same thing. Vayashkem b'boiker we find by Avraham Avinu, we find by Moshe Rabbeinu, we find like all of the tzaddikim. Straight away they do Vayashkem b'boiker, and why? Because we understand that Vayashkem b'boiker is always, as the Yalkut brings over here, very interesting. Zrizi makdimin lemitzvos. I don't think the Yalkut says over here, Zrizi makdimin lemitzvos. And what's the chap? Which mitzvah is it? So the mitzvah could be two different mitzvahs. First of all, the mitzvah of Shiva Amamin, Milchemes Shiva Amamin, and this is the Milchemes mitzvah. Second of all, mitzvahs Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. And even though Lefi the Ramban, we're going to say, okay, Lefi the Ramban is a mitzvah, right? V'yirashtem oiso v'yeshavtem bod, there's a mitzvahs Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. So you have the mitzvah. But what about the Rambam? The Rambam doesn't count the mitzvahs Ishuv Eretz Yisrael is one of the Taryag mitzvahs. The Mephoshim will say that even Lefi the Rambam, there's a mitzvah. So Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker. And we said the lashon of Vayashkem Yehoshua b'boiker always Vayashkem means Zrizi Magdil mitzvah. So what is the mitzvah over here? The mitzvah over here could be even Lefi we said it could be Milchemes mitzvah of Shiva Amamin. But could be the Milchemes mitzvah of Shiva Amamin, what we spoke before, and there's only once you started the war. But if you're holding before the war, there's not yet a mitzvah. According to the Ramban, but the Rambam says there's no mitzvah of Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. The Mephoshim explained that even according to the Rambam says there's no mitzvah of Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. It doesn't mean that there's no mitzvah at all. The Rambam doesn't bring it down in Sefer HaMitzvahs. Why? Because the Rambam brings down in Sefer HaMitzvahs only mitzvahs that have to do ledoivos. Mitzvah was only l'shor. That means only for that time there was no. The Rambam doesn't bring it down. Even so, even according to the Rambam, Yerusha Soretz, it was only in the times of Yehoshua bin Nun. Yehoshua bin Nun, right? That was the time of Yehoshua bin Nun. And then, according to the Rambam, there's also a mitzvah when we talk about over here. So I ask you, Yehoshua b'boiker, there's a mitzvah. I feel if the Rambam there's a mitzvah, because he doesn't bring it down and say Sefer HaMitzvahs, is because it's not noig l'doiros. Today, the Rambam, there's no mitzvah for Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. But at the time when Yehoshua bin Nun came in, it definitely was a mitzvah Ishuv Eretz Yisrael. And that's the Mekor over here. Vayashkem is the Mekor of always Zrizi Magdimi Lemitzes. Vayavoyu Ada Yarden. Vayavoyu, let's see the pasuk again. Vayavoyu Ada Yarden. They come almost till the Yarden. And why? Because the difference, they are now where? They are Ovel Hashitim. Right? The Ovel Hashitim. The distance from Ovel Hashitim to the Yarden is not a few hours. And they come over there. Vayolinu Shom Terem Yavoyu. And they sleep over there overnight before they're going to go over. One night they're sleeping over there next to the river of the Yarden. And that's when it is Oyer Leyud Nisan. Oyer Leyud Nisan, they sleep over there in the thing. The Yalkut over here says a very interesting thing. Melamed shetfiloson, we will see over here the passage of Vayashkim Yehoshua Baboiker. What's the Baboiker? Says the Yalkut, and Remez Yud Gimel. Melamed shetfiloson shel tzadikim nishma'as Baboiker. Baboiker, the tefillah of the tzadikim. And what's the Mekor of this Yalkut? The Mekor is in the Mechilta. The Mechilta in Parshas Beshalach and Parsha Hey. He brings over there that we don't find, right? As I painted the Mechilta. The Mechilta says that Yehoshua Lifnois Boiker. What was Lifnois Boiker? Lifnois Boiker is always the Tfilah of the Tzadikim Nishmas. Moshe Rabbeinu also, the Tfilah was Nishmas when? Dafke Baboiker. Where do we find the Tfilah? Vayashkim Yehoshua Baboiker. We find the Tfilah over here. We don't find any Tfilah. Where do we find the Tfilah over here? See, Vayashkim Yehoshua Baboiker. We don't find any tefillah over here. Says the Netziv on the Mechilta. The Netziv on the Mechilta is called Birkas HaNetziv. On the Mechilta he says, he says, why Yehoshua ben Nun is Vayashkim? Hishkim. What's Hishkim? He woke up in the morning. Why? He says definitely the Lashon Hishkim means because that is a Shas HaKosher L'Tfilah. That's the right time. A person wants to daven. The right time to daven is Hishkim. And he says, why didn't they go straight away? Why didn't go straight away? He says, why they didn't cross straight away? He says that's why they didn't cross straight away, because he wanted to daven b'ashmoyos haboiker. And as we know, the Gemara in Brachos Daf Yudalet, what the Gemara says, kol hamispalel ve'achar kach yotze laderech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu oisa lo chafotzov. Right? The Gemara Brachos Daf Yudalet. Where do we know it from? The Gemara says the person first should daven and then go out. Why? Because of oisa lo chafotzov. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does whatever he wants. Shenemar tzedek lefonov yehalech. First, tzedek, right? That means davening, lefonov yalech, and only then, a person should go out on his journey. We see over here that what? First, vayashkem, and then, vayisu me'ashitim, vayovoyu ad hayarden hu b'chol bnei Yisrael vayinu shem ter yavoyu. It's a very interesting going. Very interesting going. The going is later on. The going is later on. In Perek Tezvav, Pasuk Aleph. Perek Tezvav, Pasuk Aleph, in the Bir HaGro, and Biura go over here on the Sefer Yehoshua. He says, we know there's mem-based masois. There's mem-based masois. Says the Goen, you're right, there's mem-based masois, but he says as well, when we look at the Sukkim, in Pashas Masei, we find over there how many times it says Vayachanu. There's no mem-based masois. Says why? He says as well, V'lo nichtevu Pashas Masei rak mem aleph masois. You look at Pashas Masei, there's only 41 masois. Hagam shoyu mem beis keyodua. Definitely it was 42. V'nichtevu chanaya tachteo umasa hamem beis nichtevu b'Yehoshua v'isu me'ashitim v'lo nichtevu chanaya. Just what it says over here. Vayolinu shom terem yavoyu. And the Goyen tells us over here that the Masa Mem base, the 42, right? And we know the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh, what many Talmidim Baal Shem Tov bring the Torah Shech of Yosef, and many that every person in his life goes through these 42 Masos. A person has journeyed in his life. Not one, and not two, and not three. 42 different Masos. Sometimes are easier, sometimes are longer, sometimes are more difficult. Everyone goes through these mem-based masois. And over here we see that what? And the Goyen said also in Aderes Eliyahu, and the Biura Agro, lo yinichtavu parashas Masei mem ale only, rak mem aleph masois, even though hagam shoyu mem-based masois kiyodua. It was 42. V'nichtavu chanoyo b'chtachteo. It says instead of vayachanu, instead of vayisu, it says vayachanu. Umasa Amen base, the 42nd Masa. It says over here, Yehoshua, it says by Yehoshua, what it says by Yehoshua, it says the Masa, right? Vayisu me'ashitim, but it doesn't say Vayachanu. Why? Because Vayachanu, we had already a Pashas Masa, 42 Vayachnus. So what it says, Vayolinu shom terem yavoru. It doesn't say Vayachanu shom terem yavoru, because the Vayachanu we have already. What's the pshat over here? What's this mem-based Masois? So as we mentioned from it's more down already in many Chassidus as well. And when it's known from the Mekubalim, and Megala Amukos and Pashas Masei speaks about this Be'arichas. Megala Amukos, he says that the mem-based Masois, so Klal Yisrael, go in the Midbar, he says there are Remez Kol Yemei Oilom Ad Bias HaGoyel. Ad Bias HaGoyel, this comes from Remez, a person, as we said, a person goes through his life mem-based Masois, but also put that has to do on Klal Yisrael. Also, not only on the prat, on every individual, what he's going through mem-based masois, it's also talking about, in general, Klal Yisrael go through 42 masois at Bias HaGoyel. As I like the Megala Amukos. So in this pasuk we have the last one. The last one. What's the last masa? Ad bias hagoyel the megalamukas beings, right? The mekubolim being ad bias hagoyel. This is the last one. This is the masa ben mem base. This is the 40, right? The 42nd masa. That's the achis hayomim. Klali, so this will be the last chaniyeh, the last vayolinu, the last one before they go. And from over here, when they come into Eretz Yisrael. Very good, right? This is the last vayolinu. Terem yavoru. They're going into Eretz Yisrael. We mentioned last time when we spoke about, right, in the capital base, at the beginning of capital base, we spoke about the whole Indian of sending the meraglim was to come to be machnia, to be mevatel, as we call it, the klippe of the tumas arayas. And that Rochov Hazoino, as we spoke about, that and Eretz Canaan. We learned just yesterday the parsha of Canaan. Canaan is, right, Canaan. Why? Because he was Messiah's his father. His grandfather was Messiah. Yeah. Steht in the Avas Yonasan. And Yonasan Einschied in the Haftarah of Pasuk Shlach. In the beginning of the Haftarah of Pasuk Shlach, Sefer Rabbi says it on the Haftarah. He says as well. Why Yehoshua bin Nun is sending meraglim min hashitim? We mentioned that we wanted to answer a little bit the question of Cohen. What he asked, what's the lashon hashitim? As we spoke about last time, the hashitim was a place where the actual shitim were growing there. But what means min hashitim, right? As we look at the beginning of Perek Beis, we start the beginning of Perek Beis. How starts the Perek? Vayishlach Yehoshua min hashitim shnai manosim meraglim. Right, I think that's the lashon. Vayishlach Yehoshua min hashitim shnai manosim meraglim. Yeah. What's min hashitim? Says the Avas Yonasan. Because from over there, I think the Al-Sheikh says also this very, very similar, because over there, Klal Yisrael started to do znus. Right? Vayeshev Yisrael Bashitim, Vayochel Oom, Lizno Yisrael Beno Yismoyom, Shteit Lefos Apostle. And what is the Baal Tshuva, says the Avas Yonasan? And that's the thing. It brings the Gemara in Yumet. The Gemara in Yumet, after Yivovam at base, and says the thing that he comes to the same place, Lo Yisrael Mokoim, and he's Vizgaber, as the Rambam brings it down, La'aloch and Ilchos Tshuva, right? So, Dafke from the Min Hashitim, they're going into Eretz Canaan. He's sending them where to? Rochov Hazoino, and they are not evil. And that's the Tikkun. They mevatel now the Tumah. The Tumah was started in the Shittim. By Vayochel Om Liznois, they mevatel it now, Dafke Pinchos is sent as one of the Meraglim. Why Pinchos is sent as one of the Meraglim? Kolev ben Yefunah, we said we understood. Right? We said today in the beginning of the show, we understand very good. Kolev ben Yefunah was sent as a Meraglim. He proved himself. They were sent 12 meraglim. There was Amatzliach. There was 2 out of 12 that they actually stayed tzaddikim. Yehoshua bin Nun and Kolev ben Yefunah. Yehoshua bin Nun, now he is the leader. He can't go as a meraglim. He can't go as a spy. Kolev ben Yefunah, yes, he's the one to go. But why Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen? Pinchas ben Elazar, he proved himself. Why? Because he was the one, and the Maisa of the Shittim, he's the one that came and done the Kinas Hashem, he done. Also, the same thing we have over the Pasuk. What is it over the Pasuk? And the Pasuk says over there also, if you go back to Pasuk Yud Aleph, and Capital Aleph, you see over there, what he says, Yehoshua bin Nun tells them. What Yehoshua bin Nun tells them? Vayishva, vayimas tavei lekom od ruach beish mipneichem, ki Hashem lekechem hu lekim hashamayim mal, ועל האורץ, מתוך השמעת ישוvu li, והשם, ואחיה יסמס, sorry, that's before, sorry, I'm reading a capital thing, but then a capital thing, yeah. So he tells them over there, ויצב יהושע אשר יתרום לאמור, in פסוק י' in capital א', ויצב יהושע אשר יתרום לאמור, עברו בקרב המחנה, וצוו אסור לאמור, הכינו לכם צידו, כי בעוד 3 ימים. This pasuk now is the hemshech, is the hakanome, the our pasuk and pasuk aleph. Yeah, if we look, let's open up capital aleph on pasuk yud aleph, or yud aleph, both of them. Pasuk base tells us, I'm jumping here, I'm jumping from one to another. So let's go. Pasuk base, capital gimel, that's the pasuk where we are actually holding at. This is a continuation of the pasuk where in capital Aleph pasuk Yud. Vayetzav Yehoshua shoytre Yoam Leimer. This is the same shoytre what we speak about here. Vayavra shoytre. Ivu pasuk Yud Aleph on capital Aleph. Ivu bekev amachem. Etzav Yoam Leimer. Hochinu lochem tzeido. What is tzeido? So in Torah the way in the Medrash it says, Rab Lezer, asu tshuva kedei shetikonsu le'eretz shenosan HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'avoseichem. And that's what he done. And that's a tzeda. What's the Achinu Lochem tzeda? To do tshuva. Where they have to do tshuva? Davke in the shittim. Davke in the shittim, they have to come and to do the tshuva. Lefi what we spoke, lefi the Goen, so the Mephorosh wants to explain that the way we see in Parshas Masei, Klal Yisrael, this is the last Masa, the last journey of Beis Masois. This is the 42nd, that's the Achris Hayomim. When we daven, Sechazeno Yineinu, Beshuv Chol Etzion, right? Berachmim, Betzion Teitze Torah, right? Ashrei HaMechakim, right? Binyan Ariel, no, Vayovoyu Ad HaYarden, right? And but before the Vayovoyu Ad HaYarden, before the Geula, has to be also Vayisu Me'ashitim. Vayisu Me'ashitim. The Mephoroshim explained that what? To get to the Vayisu Me'ashitim, first you have, to get to the Vayovoyu Ad HaYarden, you have to get away from Vayisu Me'ashitim, as the Gemara in Soited of Gimel Amadalim, the Gemara says, Ein Odom Oiver Aveyo, Ela Yikei Nichnas Boy, Voashtus, Sheneemar, Ish, Tiste, Ishtoi. What is it? Tiste, Ishtoi. Says Chazal, Vayei Shev Yisrael Bashiti, Vayochel Om, Liznois. At what? This Asku, right? The Gemara, that's the no Gemara in Soited, the Gemara in you just learned it now. Sanhedrin, Kuf Vav Medalef, yeah. Both is not here, yeah, I know, yeah. So we see over here that what? Yeah, okay. Says the Pasuk. Vayim Miktzei, let's see the Emshech HaPsukim. Vayim Miktzei, Shloishes Yomim, Vayavu, Ashoitu Mekev HaMachane. Now this Pasuk and also the Psukim, we're going to see that over here, we come explain the day of Tes Nisan. That was the day of the end. Miktzei means the end of the 3 days. What the Shoitrim came and told them when? On Vav Nisan. Right? And we just saw the Psukim now in Perek Aleph, Kapitel Yud Aleph. And the Shoitrim. Pasuk Gimel. Vayetzamu Esaom Leimar. He came and told them, Kir'o Yischem Esaroin Bris Hashem. Hello, Yikreichem. והקויאנים והלווים לא יסליב אויסטרי, ואתם תיסו מכויכם והלכתם האחור. He tells them, when are you going to see the Aroin with Hashem Elokeichem? The Aroin that over there was the Luchos Avonim, the Luchos Abris. In the times of the Masoros, there was Aroin, and the Aroin went normally after 2 Degolim. What's the 2 Degolim? Diglei, Machane Yehuda, and Reuven. Right, it says over there. And Bamidbar, right? Oh. But we find that in the first Masa, the first journey, when they are traveling from Har Sinai, when they are traveling from Har Sinai to towards Eretz Yisrael, so we find that what? Ve'aroin bris Hashem, ve'aroin bris Hashem, noisei lifneihem, derech shloishes lomim, lo asur lohem menucha. They state over there in the Pasuk, lo asur lohem menucha. And Rashi over there explains, right? It brings over there the Sifri brings over there, and the Pasuk means that the Aroin habris. It's what? The Aroin that goes out of the Milchoma. That means this is a big discussion. How many Aroinos were there? There was 2 Aroinos, the Gemara in Shkolim, Rashi and Toysus and Eirovin. How many Aroinos were there? Aroin Bris Hashem. The Rashi of the explained the Shem Sifri that this Aroin was the Aroin Hayoytze LeMilchoma. What was the Aroin Hayoytze LeMilchoma? There was 2 Aroinos. There was one Aroin that goes out with them, that is the Aroin with Hashem, with the Luchos inside, there's another extra one, and that extra one is Aroin Hayoytze LeMilchama. What was inside there? The Shivrei Luchos. That's what Rashi brings with the Sifri. The Ibn Ezra, the Ramban, and the Netziv on the Sifri also learns it differently. That they say that the Pasuk is actually talking about the Aroin Oegis. It's not talking about the Aroin of, as we said, that the Shivrei Luchos are in that Aroin. That the second Aroin is pulled down in the Yerushalmi. This is the regular Aroin. He tells them. This Aroin. Then there will travel after the Golim of Yehuda and Reuven. But over here we find the same, like they go out from Al Sinai. They go out over there, and this was in front of them. The Kohanim, that they are Bnei Levi, they are carrying it, right? And the Vav means of the, right? The Vav is what's called Vav Hamatzav. Yeah, that's the Vav. And we're Misyaches to the Kohanim, or Misyaches to Shevet Levi. And we know, because why we always say Kohanim Levim? Because at the time, we know that Minari Bnei Yisrael, who is the Nari Bnei Yisrael, and Har Sinai, what we learn at the end of Pasuk Shpotim, the Bechoros. The Bechoros tell Maisa Egel, who was the one that Meshamish Bekehuneh? The Bechoros. And now we say, hey, Kohanim Levim, not the Kohanim that they are the Bechoros, the Kohanim Levim, they are the ones that carried Omer. Oh, very good. We're going to see the Medrash at 3 different places we find the portion Medrash. 3 different places we find that the Koyanim were carrying the Aron B'Ez Hashem, and because we find in 3 different places that they carried the Aron B'Ez Hashem, they knew that's going to be great things over here. That's what the Malbim explains that Kimocho Yaseh. You know what? Let's read the pasuk. We're going to see the pasuk. We're going to Ach rochoi iye beinechem pasuk daled. Ach rochoi iye beinechem uveinov. ובעינוי דקסיבס, כ2,000 עמו במידו, אל תקרבו אליו, למען אשר תדעו את הדרך אשר תלכו בו, כי לא עברתם בדרך מתמודד שלשום. כמה ניתן זה מרזוי? אך רוחק יהיה. פשטס אך רוחק יהיה, as Rashi says, because כבוידה של מוקרים הוא. כבוידה של מוקרים הוא. That means the current given distance. כ2,000 עמו במידו, that means what's כ2,000? That means a shield of 2,000 עמו, that is תחום שבס. תחום שבס, about a kilometer away, yeah. Why? The Kedusha, the Sakon, as we know, by the times of David HaMelech, Uzzah came and he told that he's going to fall down. He put his hand, and what happened to Uzzah? He dropped dead, he died. Because that's the covenant. And Mitzad Sheni, he comes and he tells them, he goes back now, how will you know to go in front of him? So keep it over there, keep it a distance, because this is a new way that you don't know. You didn't go there. And you should go and keep it in front of you. You should keep it in front of you. Vayomer Yehoshua. Now we're going to see the Haftarah of the first day of Pesach. First day of Pesach, this is the Haftarah. So probably it's going to we recognize it. Vayomer Yehoshua Elom. He's Kadoshu. Ki mocho yaseh Hashem bekir bechem niflois. How do you know that tomorrow is going to be niflois? So now I want to be serious to what Rav Cohen asked. In is the Malbim brings it down. How does he know that Mocho Yaseh Lochem Hashem Niflois? It's because we find over here that the Kohanim are carrying the Oren. But there, see that the Kohanim are carrying the Oren. He knew that now it's going to be over here Niflois. And he brings down the Chazal. It's a Gemara in Soita. Gemara in Soita Daf Lamed Gimel Omed. Based the Gemara says. בשלושה מקומות נוסו הכהנים בסורן, כשעורבו את הירדן, וכשסובבו את יריחו, וכשיחזרו למקומות. What's that? That's the time when they brought it back to the base Kodesh HaKadoshim, in the times of Shlomo HaMelech. The first time they built the Beis HaMikdash, they bring back it wasn't a base 8, a base by Ir David. They bring it into the Beis HaMikdash. These 3 times, the Kohanim, they are carrying it. And the Chol Eile, Oyu Nisim Gelui. As they bring the thing, and that's why he says, the Bible explains, how does he know Yehoshua? Yaseh Hashem Elechem Niflois. He says, Kimocho Yaseh Hashem Elechem Niflois. How does he know it? Says the Malbi, because according to this Gemara, the Gemara says, Bishloisha Mekoim is not so according to Sa'orim, the Ovo Sayarden. See, whenever the Kohanim they are carrying the Orim, something happens, big nisim happens. He says, be ready. Mocho Yaseh Hashem Elechem Niflois. Pasuk Vav. Vayomer Yehoshua לכהנים לאמור. שאו את ארון הבריס, ועברו לפניהם, ויישאו את ארון הבריס, וילכו לפניהם. Yehoshua ben Nun tells them, when is that? That is the next day, Yud Nisan. If you're following the day, Yud Nisan. Take the Aron Bris Hashem, ועברו לפניהם, and cross. Why? When you're carrying the Aron, you should carry it in front of the people. So tell here is the Akdome to crossing the Yarden. The Akdome of crossing the Yarden. And when we look over here, Rashi explains, so let's go into this of carrying the Oren. Rashi explains, when we look at when you see the pasuk, Hashem, Rashi explains that what means the Kohanim? Who is the Kohanim over here? The Kohanim were called Levi because they all came out from Shevet Levi. So there is over here 2 different chidushim. Now what? In the Midbar, who carried the Oren with Hashem? Shevet Kehos. The Kehosim from Shevet Levi, they carried the Oren. And over here was the Kohanim, not the Shevet Kehos. So there's a machlokes of Rambam and the Ramban. The Rambam, a Sefer HaMitzvahs, and a Seila Medaleh, the Rambam says that the mitzvah of Nesias Oren is the Kohanim. They have the mitzvah. The Ikar mitzvah, who's carrying the Oren? He says, the Lashon Rambam is, She'isu HaKohanim Oren, Al Ktefeim, Kshenirtze, bring it down over here, the Lashon of the Rambam, V'hu shetzivonu. I'm going to read the Lashon Rambam inside. She'isu HaKoyanim ha'orin. The Koyanim have to carry the orin, like tefeim, on the shoulders. She'nirtze losis oisei mimokoin lemokoin. Ve'u omru, כי avodas hakodesh עליהם בכותל יישאו. ואף על פי שזה הציווי בו ללוי בו יישאי, אומנם אויו זה למיעוט הכהנים החייבים במצווה. כן, המצווה יכולים לכהנים ועם אשר יישאו, כמו שנסבר בספר יהושע בספר שמואל. עד כאן את לושן הרמב"ם. So the Rambam says the real mitzvah is the kohanim. What we find in the midbar that the Levim carried it, how many kohanim we have in the midbar? You count on one hand. Aaron, one. That's it. So the reason that they carried it, according to the Rambam, it's a very interesting Rambam. That's what the Rambam says in Mitzvah Sasei Lamed Dalet. I don't know the Rambam. Mitzvah Sasei Lamed Dalet. The Ramban, over there in the Sheresh Ashlishi, disagrees on him, and he says, Cholilo. The Lashon is Ve'inyan HaKoy Shomarti. He says, Cholilo Nonu Shenoimar Sheteshane. That means that they're going to come and change it. Shum Mitzvah B'Torah, nothing changes. So you are Levim, solid, masa oil oilom. You can't come and say it. Aval noimar, says the Rambam. The Rambam comes and says, what is the reason? Ki hakoyanim alevim, kulom yesheirim b'masa min haTorah shekulom nikreu levim. Definitely the mitzvah is for the Levim. And in the Levim, we also had a certain chalukah, right? They are carrying, the other ones are carrying. As I look, the Ramban, and he brings many rayas over here. I think the Arichas, okay, we're not going to go so much into the rayas, but if you look over there, the Ramban and the Sheresh Ashlishi brings over there, the Inyon, כמו שאמרתי, שכל השבט כושר למעשה אורן. והמשפוך האיש הבני כוס, נפקדו עליו במדבר. The chiyuv is all of the Levim. All the Levim, anyone who's the family of the Levim, including the Kohanim, have the mitzvah to carry, and only there he has the mitzvah. And this is, he says over there, שהוא דבר מפורש, he brings the מפורש של גמורה, וכבר ביארו החכמים אויסוי שאומרו במסכת סויטה, that's the Gemara in Soite Daf Lamed Gimel on base. What we say, Keitzad Ovu Yisrael Es HaYarden. Bechol Yom, every day, Levim no Yishin Esoren. Who carries the Oren? The Levim. Ve'ayoim, this day that they crossing the yard, and this day what we speaking over here, Kohanim. And that's what we say over here. Ki benosom min hamachane, the first day when they're traveling, nosu oisoi gam halevim. Moshe Omar ve'akoyanim halevim ve'halevim. So the question is, ve'akoyanim ve'halevim. So we spoke about the Vov, is the Vov Hamatzev, or as we said, the Vov is actually so according to the Ramban, Ve'akoyanim ve'halevim, and this is the deal over here, the Vov over here, what we say ve'halevim, is actually also the Levim. And that's what the Ramban is in the Medayah. The Ramban is the Medayah, the Ve'akoyanim halevim. What we say over here in the Pasuk, it's both of them, and then Yehoshua, L'Koyanim, so it's Aroin Abris. It's coming to do it. What's the pshat in the Rambam? So the Bris Korov, there is, and Chidush agrees on the Rambam, at the end of the Sefer, on the Rambam, there is what's called Michtovim. Letters, what he sent. And over there he brings the pshat on the Rambam what says over here that Be'emes, the mitzvah is on the Koyanim. Just in the Koyanim and the Midbar was not enough Koyanim, so the Levim carried it. Says like, is the lotion of the Bris Korov, as always, Tzvei Dinim. There's two different mitzvahs when we talk about. There's a mitzvah of what we call Nesias Klei HaMishkan, and including Nesias Klei HaMishkan, all of the Klei HaMishkan, including in the Klei HaMishkan, we have also the Orin. And that mitzvah is any master, the base master is all the mastois, bnei soil. We have over there the mitzvah of carrying the Klei HaMishkan, and that's only in the midbar. Then we have another mitzvah, says the Bris Korov, Nesias Orin, especially the Orin. Where does he learn it out from? And there was also carrying the Klei HaMishkan and separately carrying also the Orin. It says in the Pasuk, Be'isau, Hivdil Hashem es Shevet HaLevi, Losis es Aroin, B'ris Hashem la'amu yitnei Hashem, l'shosoi, the whole Pasuk. And what says over there? Especially it says over there, Be'isau Hivdil Hashem es Shevet HaLevi, Losis Aroin B'ris Hashem. But there's another mitzvah. Now this mitzvah, what's also in the Orin of Shivrei Luchos, what goes out with them on the Milchama, even that's not from the Klei HaMikdash. Two different things. You have the Klei HaMikdash, when the Levim have to carry the Klei HaMikdash. Now you have a separate chiyuv on the Orin, and this Orin could be also the Orin who is not the Orin B'ris Hashem, the Orin that goes out, and this never cancels. This is not only the midbar. The mitzvah, the first mitzvah, is only the midbar. Now the Rambam comes and says that the mitzvah, the Koyanim, and that's what we learn over here. So you come to these parents, it's very good. All the shilas of the Rambam, we said two things over here. Let's just be mistaken what we spoke about. We spoke about over here, as Rabbi Cohen asked a very good question, where do we find, and this is a question, very good question, where do we find that a Kohanim carry? So he said the Gemara, so the Magrik says, the Psukim over here, according to the Gemara, so how could Yehoshua know that Yaseh Hashem Bekibach and Niflois? But the Magrik said, how can we see that over here is different than Kohanim? According to the Rambam, we said, very good. Rambam says that really the mitzvah is only the Kohanim. What we find, Shevet Levi, is because there's not enough Kohanim in the mitzvah. The Rambam says no. Mitzvah was really the Levim. The Kohanim are also part of Shevet Levi. Why not the Kohanim? The Brisker explains and the Ramban brings many rayas. If you look at we don't have really the time for this, but the Ramban of the Shulchan Shlishi, we have it over here, but the Ramban brings many rayas. What the Rambam do all of these rayas? So the Brisker explains, it's beautiful. Now, when we talk about over there the mitzvah of carrying the Klei Mishkan, there's two mitzvahs. There's the mitzvah b'shas midbar, and there's the mitzvah ledoiros. B'shas midbar, this was all Klei Mishkan, who has to carry all Klei Mishkan, including the Oron, but also part of the Klei Mishkan, the Levim. And there's the special mitzvah of the Kohanim, Bo'isau, Tachkan Daron B'Shem Hashem. And that's not only in the midbar, that's forever. Over here we talk about they're not anymore in the midbar, they're going into Eretz Yisrael. The Kohanim, this mitzvah ledoiros, was not only in the midbar, that's the mitzvah Dafka Kohanim, and that's what you find over here. Who's carrying the Daron B'Shem Hashem? Yehoshua, Elohim. Sorry, then you find over here that Kohanim Alevim Noisim Oisoi. After the Kohanim Alevim, they are carrying it. Okay. So next week we'll see right Pasuk Zion on the thing.
Shkoyach. Thank you very much.